Vitamin D3 is a fat-soluble vitamin that also acts really more like a hormone in our body. There's a ton of research going on right now about vitamin D. About 10 years ago, it really started to rise in prominence. Before that time, very few physicians even checked vitamin D levels. Now it's almost becoming where it's almost a routine thing to get your vitamin D level checked. Some research out there is showing that vitamin D can help us with a multitude of problems. And we do think that supplementation with vitamin D to raise levels that are low definitely improves quality of life. Most of you know vitamin D from its help in absorption of calcium to keep your bones strong. And we know that from vitamin D milk. That's kind of the most popular, I'd say, marketing out there as far as vitamin D is concerned. But vitamin D does a lot more than just bone health. Vitamin D helps regulate your hormones to a certain degree. We think it has to do with the way your body processes certain pain signals in your body. We think it even has some cancer protective effects too at certain levels. What should you do about vitamin D? Well, the first thing I recommend you do is you talk to your physician to get your vitamin D level checked. You want to at least get a baseline to see what your level is before you start doing supplementation. Right now, when I was in school, we were taught that the amount of vitamin D that you need to take per day was about 400 international units. I'll let you know that right now, most of my patients take about 5,000. So that's over a multiplier of 10 of what kind of the RDA value is for vitamin D. I haven't had any patients get toxic or too high of levels taking 5,000 international units a day. But even though that's kind of what most of my patients take, I still recommend you get your levels checked and keep them monitored, probably on a yearly basis to see how you're doing. You also want to make sure that when you're getting vitamin D, you get the appropriate kind of vitamin D. Right now, there are two types of vitamin Ds on the market. One is called D2, or the long name is ergocalciferol, or there's also vitamin D3, which is this one, which is cholecalciferol. Ergocalciferol is also the one that's found in prescription vitamin D. The problem with vitamin D2, if you really want to call it a problem, is that your body, in order to utilize it, has to convert it into vitamin D3 first. And so that does cause a little bit of an energy expenditure in your body to convert that. And so if you're taking a huge weekly prescription dose of 50,000 international units, it might require quite a bit of energy for your body to convert that. There have been some studies where they were giving nursing home patients actually an injection of 1 million international units a year. So just a one-time dose of vitamin D to get their levels up really, really high. Because it's fat soluble, it does store, and then you utilize it over time. But they found that people that were doing the oral daily vitamin D had better outcomes than the people who were doing the huge one-time dose. Now, that being said, as far as I know, there has not been a head-to-head trial using daily dosing versus weekly dosing at higher levels, but definitely taking it on a day-to-day basis is probably better for you physiologically. And there's some thoughts that taking it orally too more often can help some issues that happen in the gut as well. As far as levels go and what is considered an appropriate level, a level of 30 on your lab tests is probably the minimum that you need. That's what your body needs for bone health. There are some studies that show levels that are above 40 have a decrease in overall cancer rates. Now, whether or not vitamin D is doing that or if it's just an association with that, we're not really sure, but it's certainly not going to hurt. Normally, I typically recommend levels between 60 to 80 on most folks, but moving your level to the upper quartile of the range. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little video about some information on that supplement. I hope you found it interesting and helps you make a decision. If you have any more questions, please feel free to give our office a call. We'd be glad to answer as many questions as we can. Probably the best way to do it, though, is to schedule a consultation. I'd be glad to go over your supplement regimen with you. We also have many ways to check your vitamin levels to make sure you're not wasting money on supplements that you don't need, and to make sure that the ones that you're taking are of a quality that will be absorbed and utilized in your body correctly. Once again, this is Dr. Scott Nall from the Village Osteopath, helping you restore your health and optimize your life.